Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today is the end of the rough work. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell or not, but the walls, for all intents and purposes, are done. Anything else that happens to these is going to be finish work. So today's the day I'm going to finish up the rest of the rough work. A little bit of sanding to do on the drywall, but you can see this is where that hole was. That's completely patched up. I need to remark where the new location is and get that drilled. And I need to sponge the walls, but that's going to have to wait until I sand the floor. After I get this stuff done, I'm going to go and scrape the far area there. Well, first I'm going to get rid of all this stuff up here except for the light and the vacuum. Then I'm going to start scraping and sanding on the far area and work my way this way. I'm going to belt sand like these joints and stuff, which is really quick. Then I'm going to go in with the disc sander with a slightly less grit. And once I have everything done all the way to the hole here, I'm going to go back and fill all the stuff with Durham's rock hard water putty and work my way again to the hole here. And once that's dry, I'll sand that, and all the dust that collects on the walls and stuff, I'll take care of that with the vacuum and a damp sponge. I want to have this ready for Natalie to prime it. Well, hopefully she'll be able to prime it tomorrow night. First thing to do is mark for this hole, get that hole drilled, and then finish up with any sanding in this area. Then I can get all of the drywall stuff out of here, get the heater out of here. I'll have a little more room, and then we can get to the sanding. It is going to be so nice when I don't have to work in this tiny little space anymore. Oh, let me see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to use this line right here, and that line is the mistake line, and that's going to give me a crooked. I have the correct line here, and I'm lining that up with the mistake line, and that's going to give me a crooked result. There we go. Gotta go downstairs for everything. Okay. So we are 2 3/4, 4 3/4. From the line. I'm just going to eyeball it. Eyeball where the line is. And that should be it right there. Now I'll just go down again and get my drill and the big hole saw, and hopefully we're in the right place now. Okay, I really do not like drilling holes with these big hole saws, but gotta do what you gotta do. When I patched this hole, I moved the wire way out of the way, so that should be good. I would hate to nick that wire. I'm gonna have to pop it out of there. I think my plug is stuck in there by a little bit of glue. So we'll cut it in half. There we go. Beautiful. And there you have it. This little slit right here from the drill, that's not going to matter. We're going to have to carve out like a little area in the rock wool up there, and then we'll put a little bubble of this membrane up there. We got to have room for the light to go up into there, and this rock wool is pretty stiff, so we'll cut this membrane out, pluck out enough of that rock wool to get the light up in there nice and comfortable, and then we'll patch up the membrane. All right, you can see a little bit of sanding here, a little bit of sanding there, and the drywall is completely done. Okay, I took care of that sanding, and as I go along, any little stuff that I find that I need to sand, I think I'll keep this up here and my little 4-inch knife. Get the rest of this stuff out of here except for one pad. Yep, get this out of here. That should do it. I could probably get the light out of here too. I do not need the light for this. I have plenty of light up here. So let's get this place cleaned up and get the belt sander up here and get to work. The cat came up to join me again. Okay, I'm all ready to start sanding. What I'm going to do is try to tape this onto the square nozzle on this. That stuff broke years ago. I bought this in, like 94 or something like that. So this is about 30 years old. It's a Craftsman 4-inch belt sander. And the reason I bought a Craftsman is because this thing had the best balance out of all of the belt sanders at the shop I worked at the time. So when I was going to get one for myself, that's what I got. Okay, I got some dust masks as well. Got my Fix-It-All, and I'm ready to go. The cat will get out of here by herself as soon as I turn this stuff on. All right, let's tape this on here. I really should make something that fits on here. I might still have... Cat, I gotta get in here. Kitty, Well, get out of my way. Come on. I might still have the original. There's not a lot to tape onto here. Cat. Yeah, this might not work. I might have to just put the dust collector or dust mask on and try to bear with it. This is pretty good duct tape, Gorilla, but even pretty good duct tape is probably not going to work, at least for long. It may be time to get a new belt sander. As I said, it's been 30 years. I think this is going to work for a little while. If it works for this whole loft, that'll be awesome. And my shop vac is actually, it's a drywall vac, and if I plug this into it, it will turn on automatically whenever I turn on my tool. Alright, kitty, you're not gonna like this. Alright, let's get to work. Okay, I'm all ready to go. This is what I'm using the belt sander on. I'll just be going back and forth across the seams until these are all flushed up. Same with that one over there. Then I'll come back with the disc sand. Well, actually, I'll take the belt sander and go lightly over the other areas as well. And I'll be scraping up this stuff. It's better to scrape it up than to sand it and create all that extra dust. Okay. Like I said, you're not gonna like this, kitty. Okay, that's it for the sanding, at least the belt sanding. Now I'm going to fill all of these holes with Durham Rock Hard water putty. I got some fairly decent holes here and there. This should go pretty darn quick. What you got to do, once you mix that stuff up, it starts drying right away, so it dries fairly fast. So you got to fill the holes and then scrape it nice and tight and get it pretty flush. It's really hard stuff when it dries, but I have another sanding to do, and that'll take off anything on the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should look nice. The upper part looks beautiful, and we don't want a turd-looking floor with a really nice upper part. All right, let's go mix up some rock hard water putty. It's been a while since I used this. We used to use this all the time at a shop that I used to work at, and I've used it in my shop, but it's been, probably 15 years since I've used it. I know you gotta put it in a container, add a little water until it's the right consistency, and then start moving. You gotta get it on quick. So let's get some putty in here and get to work. All right. Get your putty in your pan. Putty powder, and then like I said, I'm not going to know this by heart because it's been quite some time. Yeah, put too much water in. Hurry up and add some. I know this stuff sets pretty quick, but I can't remember how fast. It's not like 5-minute epoxy or anything, but well, maybe it is. Okay, that's about the right consistency right there. And you can add vinegar to this to slow down the hardening time. All right, let's go get this in. Okay, that's it for the first batch. It's looking like I'll probably need 2 more batches. I'm going to try to get a batch and get rid of all of this stuff right here. Then it'll take another batch like that first one to get that back corner. Yeah, it might take 3 more batches. I mean, it's not that hard. You just have to make sure you move quick, and you can touch this stuff with your hand so you can scrape it out of there with your finger. I actually should get some more out of this. Let me get a little more on, and then we'll go mix another batch. I had to move kind of quick so I didn't show it, but any like big ridges you can get off while this stuff is still damp. It'll just make for a little bit less sanding. I should get those right away as well. Let me do that, and then we'll go mix up another batch. I have all of my rock hard water putty down. I'm gonna let this dry for a while. I'm not sure how long this is gonna take to dry. It dries pretty darn quick, but some of these nail holes are pretty deep, so I'm not exactly sure how long those are gonna take to dry. When I get back at this, I'm gonna sand it with the disc sander with a coarse grit and get all this flushed back up. I'll use the shop vac connected to that. When that's done, I'll go back over it with the same disc sander and sand it down to 120. Then my daughter can paint and we're nearly done up here. Hello, kitty. I gotta measure that window as well. I'm gonna be doing the trim on that. I know what the perimeter is. I'm gonna be putting the base molding in as well. It's gonna look really nice up here really soon. Okay, I'm gonna go do lunch and then come back and see if this is dry enough to sand. If it's not, we'll have to do that later today. All right, it's the next day and I had the heat on up here all night and it's 70 degrees outside, so this is as dry as it's gonna get. All right, I'm gonna sand this real quick and then I'm gonna take a slightly damp sponge to the walls just to get the dust off and feather any of the joint compound that needs feathering, and that'll be it. Got to get some dimensions on the window too, but we are just about done with all of the rough stuff. Okay, got some coarse grit on here. Hopefully this collector collects enough dust. I really don't want to hook up the shop vac. Get my mask on. Open the window and away we go. Okay, I am 100% done with all the rough stuff. This is really nice. There's a lot of grit on the floor. I'm gonna have to have my daughter come up here and do a thorough vacuuming. Then we'll go over the walls with a just slightly damp sponge and get any dust off the walls, vacuum out all the outlets. Then she can prime up here. Yeah, this floor is nice and smooth. It's not like furniture, but it is way better than it used to be. This was in the weather for a while and it got pretty grody, but now pretty nice. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing up here is likely it's either putting in the electricals, putting in the toilet, or putting in the window trim. So if you want to see any or all of those, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.